Okay, so the next two queries deal with grouping on multiple tables and will be the last two select queries of this lecture. Let's suppose we want to list employee last name, product ID, and number of products for orders placed during the month of December that have at least 10 units on the order line. This description is relatively complex, so we will use the 6-step conceptual evaluation process and fewer critical questions we need to ask ourselves when attempting to formulate this query. One of the critical questions is which of the tables are involved in this query. To get the employee name, we obviously need the employee table. The December criteria necessitates the order table, as well as the fact that order table is the bridge between customer and order details table, which is needed to count the number of products. Okay, we do not need the product table despite the fact that we are counting them. Order detail has that product ID, which is all we need in this question, in this query. The next critical question is whether there will be any grouping. Since we want to count number of products, the answer is yes. Count will be the aggregate function. So, looking at the slide, open up the let's open up the number 12 script, MySQL 4_12_ join group by multiple columns, just completely blank, so there's nothing in it. And then we'll type this query, select, okay, last name, and this is employee last name, not customer, order detail dot product ID, okay, comma, count, okay, and an asterisk as num products. Okay, so last name, employee last name, and the product. So these are employees handling these products. Okay, we want to count, okay, how many employees handle certain products. All right, and we're going to further restrict that later on as well with a having clause in the next query. Okay, for simplicity, we'll use the cross product version of the join. Okay, detail where what do we got? Employee dot employee ID, that's its primary key, must match orders dot employee ID, which is the foreign key in the order table rather, and orders dot order ID primary key must match order detail dot order ID foreign key. Okay, now we got a couple of more things. We got the order detail dot quantity. We could have just used quantity, but it's better once you start using the table prefix to continue doing it, greater than 10. And then we got these orders dot order date, okay, is between what's with me in between, I can't spell it, between the beginning and the end of December, which is 2025 year December 1, and we got 2025 12/31, the end of the month. Okay, and now we're going to group by last name. That will be employee last name, order detail dot product ID. Okay, these are the same two here, 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 and here that must show up in a group by as long as we have some kind of aggregate function like the count. Okay, switch to Toad, and I believe this is number 12, correct? MySQL 4_12 join group by multiple columns. Okay, when we run it, we should get 29 of these employee last name product combinations. All right, a lot of these as you scroll down. Okay, so how many times did Barry handle product ID 124? We could have gotten the product name in it. It would involve adding the product table, obviously, for a more meaningful description, but he or she handled it once. Okay, you can see a lot of ones. So what we want to do in the next script, which we're going to go directly into Toad, number 13, okay, MySQL 4_13 join group by multiple columns with a having clause. Okay, so we're just going to add that having num product greater than 2, so 3, 4, and up. Okay, the rest should be exactly the same as we just entered it. So we'll save that and run it. We'll save it and run it, and result in nothing. Let's go back to the presentation. It might be, maybe it's just greater than 1. That's probably what I'm missing. So it looks like there is none with more than 2. I thought there were. Save, run. There's only one. Only Hamilton with more than one product, handling more than one product. Okay, so that's fine. We'll close that. So we eliminated all those combinations. There were a lot of them, 28 additional ones, but where the only one but the product employee combination was handled only once. Close that. Let's see where are we at. Switch back to the presentation and then soldier on. We'll talk about slide, I believe this is number 13, where most of the remaining scripts deal with statements that modify the contents of one or more tables. All right, this and the following slide will demonstrate the use of the insert statement, and then we'll, I think, take a break. Used to add new rows to a table. Typically, the interaction with this kind of statement is done through user or web forms used in application program rather than being used directly. Okay, even by DB administrators. Open up the empty 14 script called MySQL4_14 insert single customer row and Notepad. Oh brother, where did we go? Okay, I guess we lost the our quick access here. Okay, so a little bit of double clicking to get to that number 14. Okay, and then looking at the screen and the insert into statement. Let's start by inserting into customer table. Okay, and the indentations here are for clarity, nothing else. So we want to insert all fields. So there's going to be a little bit of typing here. Customer ID, comma, company, comma, last name, comma, first name, comma, age, comma, gender, comma, type. Let's go a little bit in the new row. Address, comma, city, comma, state, comma, zip code. You have to double check that none of these were misspelled. I'm going to trust that it's correct. Credit card number, and then expiration, and that has a potential of being misspelled. Expiration date. I guess we'll find out. Okay, then back up to the beginning, and then values. Okay, that will be inserted as shown at the bottom. Okay, again in double parentheses. We'll have number 407 for the new customer ID. We'll have null or nothing for the company because it's a retail customer, in single quotes Cortez, comma, another pair of single quotes Curtis. Okay, another pair. Oh, actually, no single quotes. 25 is the age. That's an integer rather than the char or char format. We got a male. Obviously, we got a, as we just mentioned, a retail customer. Let's go to the next read to sort of match as best as you can. The address is in double quotes. 95 Center Street. Okay, comma, Pelham, to make it harder, and the state of Alabama, with a zip code, which you guys will remember, it is text 35124. The same goes for the credit card number. Okay, I'm sorry, phone number 205 241 2973. Okay, the Visa is a type of credit card, and then the 16-digit credit card number I just entered 16 fives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hope it matches. And finally, the expiration date, remember, must be in the particular year, month, date format. Okay, so the odds are not high that this is going to work, but we'll double check this stuff. Let's save and close, switch to Toad, open up number 14, insert single customer row. Customer, let's view details, and let's check out expiration. I think it's spelled the same, so I will sort of at this point put my faith to it and run it. Yes, success. Okay, to see that the 407 was inserted, close this, right click, view details. We might need to refresh under data, go to the bottom. Okay, there's a 300, and remember there used to be 322. This is the 323rd customer, Curtis, with all this info in. Okay, so let me see what else. Inserting a row in Access is much more straightforward. Okay, we'll just open the Access database if you close it. All right, we'll double click to open its customer table, and we click on New Blank Record, type 407, and type all this info. Curtis, what was it? 25, male, retail customer, 95 Center Street. Okay, Pelham, Alabama, 35124. With the 205, I have a mask here to show the proper phone format. 2412973 Visa. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of these fives, and finally December 31st, 2018. Okay, I'm going to close that table. I'm going to switch back to the presentation, and I'm going to pause.